Yokoso, my manga society. So, today we are back with Skip and Loafer volumes 7 and 8. And if you've been following, we've been talking about the last few volumes. I believe the last video went up a couple weeks ago when this video goes up. So, these volumes were a little crazy. So, I think we just want to get into it, right?
Yeah.
So, volume 7, boy, what a crazy volume.
The first year went by pretty quick. I mean, I know it's been like 6 volumes already, but it felt really fast. So now they're in year 2, and this is the breakdown of their class.
So they all got separated, which is, I think they were all pretty sad about that. Especially Yuzu.
Because she's all alone.
She's all alone now, and she's always had like some issues with like friendships and stuff.
Yeah.
Mukai and Yamada, we don't really ever see too much of them, but
I hope we
funny.
see more.
I know, me too. So this is also a new character we see pretty often.
Yasuka. Jerry. Yeah.
So yeah, they're just talking about how they were separated. Mitsumi and Shima see each other on the staircase, and they talk about how they'd like to stay close friends. Shima kind of like, it's not really making a move, but he's just kind of like, if you ever need like a textbook, come ask me first.
Oh, yeah. But then he's always surrounded by these fans.
He has
They're not really
fans.
Friends. They just kind of, well, I don't think he thinks of them as friends.
No, definitely not.
They kind of just follow him around.
Yeah. And he's too nice to like tell them to like, you know, go away.
Get off my ass.
Off. No, literally. Literally. I thought this was real at first until it said end fantasy.
Really?
There's like these panels where she's like trying to be like a good senpai. I thought it was really funny.
So they're trying to open up the student council office for the first years. And so they basically put up posters around the school saying, if you have any sort of issue that you want to talk through, then come to the student council office and we'll help you, I guess, like talk through it. And then we meet this first year and she ends up joining. So cute.
Yeah. And she calls Mitsumi cool, and she is like totally like basking in the glory. But then she like later finds out she like told her stuff about like science, but then she's been like a winner in those same exact competitions. It's funny.
So this volume also explores Yuzu's backstory, and then again the friendship between Yuzu and Makoto, which if you've seen our last few videos, that's what I'm here for. So always exciting. See, again, I mean, we learned this a few volumes ago, but Yuzu chose a high school where she wasn't gonna know anybody because she wanted to distance herself from the people that went to her junior high. Essentially because she would get kind of wrapped up in people's boyfriend drama without, I mean, she wasn't really doing anything wrong.
I feel like that's a pretty popular anime trope where they kind of like don't have a very good middle school life, and then so they choose to go to like a different high school, right? I feel like that's pretty common.
Yeah,
trope.
It is. I mean, it's a good idea.
No, it's a good idea.
It's hard because you don't know anybody, but yeah, if you really want to change your circumstances, then it's good.
Yeah.
And I liked this backstory because with Yuzu, it's just a really like nuanced look into her life because she acknowledges all the good things that happened to her because she is attractive and because people naturally flock towards her. But the downsides of that is that she keeps getting wrapped up into other people's boyfriend drama. And then it also showed how, like, this conversation with her friends, she was talking about someone in the school and she was saying this person is really nice, but then her friends were like, well, he's only nice to you because you're attractive, but he doesn't treat everyone else nicely. So I guess that's like a pretty big downside. You don't really know people's true intentions and who they really are.
And sometimes they treat you like the bad guy for like them treating you nicely, but you didn't know they were like a jerk.
Her
Just
friends.
because, yeah.
Yeah.
They like talked down to her because of it, but she didn't actually know that like those people were like not nice to other people too. She just sees what happens to her, you know?
Exactly. And then another hard thing about that is because she keeps getting wrapped up in this boyfriend drama and there's a lot of jealousy, it's really hard for her to make female friends. And I think that's like the thing that she wants the most right now. She's not really looking for a relationship.
Right.
So this kind of ties into a major conflict that happens in this volume with Yuzu.
So here they make plans, Yuzu and her new classmates. And so the classic, oh, sorry, I have to cancel. Oh, sorry, I'm busy now, trope happens. And it's kind of like a setup between all of those friends and this guy that wanted to go on a date with Yuzu. And so she realizes this and she's not about it at all. She's just kind of like, okay, I don't like appreciate you guys lying to me, so I'm just gonna leave. And that's like a warning. I don't want this to happen ever again. If you wanted to like go out with me, you should have asked me straight up.
Because she wanted to hang out with everyone.
Yeah, she wants to make friends. That's what she was expecting, so.
You don't want to be like pressured. It would be one thing if it was like a coincidence and everyone happened to be busy or like someone got sick, like that happens, but they purposefully like all set it up for it to be her and the other guy.
Right. She kind of starts having these thoughts about like how it was like the previous year and how she, you know, misses everyone else. Because she made like some really good friendships the previous year, which I mean she had never like done before, so she just kind of misses it.
But she's having a hard time like opening up and actually telling her friends straight up that she's having these issues because they kind of assume that she's gonna be able to figure it out since she is so popular.
Right.
But they don't notice that she's like struggling on the inside.
Yeah. Makoto realizes that something's been up with Yuzu.
Yeah.
She went home early, so Makoto kind of like figured something was up, and so she stopped by Yuzu's place, and Makoto was just kind of like, I kind of feel like you're my best friend at school, and I don't want to assume anything, but I'd like to feel like it's the same way the other way. And she's kind of opens up. This was surprising to me, but she kind of opens up and she was like, I want to be there for you like you were for me. And so they have this like really emotional moment.
Really nice.
And this was one of my favorite panels, and I didn't choose it because there was a different moment.
I know, I almost chose this because we talked about this a little bit before, but we were both feeling so emotional during this scene.
I actually teared up a little bit.
Me too.
So yeah, this was a really heartwarming moment actually.
I just love how their friendship, I mean, I've said this from the earliest volumes, but I just really like how their friendship gets development each volume.
It does. And they do feel like best friends pretty much out of like anyone in the group. Obviously they're all really good friends, but these two have connected more so, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And so they go on a little field trip up the mountain.
We kind of talked about this character, but there is also another character, Uji Ie. And he's in Mitsumi's class, and he's this quirky guy. He seems like a little socially awkward, and we learn a little bit about him in the next volume, but we're kind of just introduced to him.
Yeah, he's like kind of shy. He kind of like puts everything off. Like, why should I care? He doesn't answer questions.
He's like a little too blunt.
Yeah, seems a little edgy. So, yeah, they're just kind of going up the mountains.
So they all climb the mountain, and the girls decide to all have lunch together because I guess they're supposed to have lunch with their class, but then Yuzu would be alone, so.
Yeah, this was big for Yuzu because she's been missing everyone. So they invite her. And then Shima and friends come along as well. So they join. And yeah, it was a nice little field trip. So Ujie here, he volunteered for the volleyball. This is for like the sports festival. They all volunteered. This was actually big for him because he actually volunteered. After seeing Mitsumi volunteer, he volunteered for volleyball.
And he's not an athletic guy at all.
At all. So here you could see him kind of like literally missing the ball.
And it's kind of funny because then his teammates are mad at him because they're like, why would you just stand there? But he has his own logical way of doing things. So he's like, well, it's better if I'm not confident in hitting the ball, maybe it's better for me to like stay still so that my teammates can maybe swoop in.
Yeah. Which I guess I could see his his logic behind it. I don't necessarily agree with it.
No, I don't. I think like Mitsumi was trying to tell him too. It's like at the end of the day, it's a team sport, and your team, yes, you do want to win, but like you volunteered for this, so your team wants to see you put an effort, even if you miss the ball.
You literally volunteered.
Don't just like stand there. But I guess that's kind of like, I could see maybe his character development is kind of learning, I guess, how other people think, because his way of thinking is like so different from the norm. So then just kind of trying to like balance his ideas with maybe what other people are thinking at that time.
Right.
But that'll be interesting. I do like his character a lot.
No, I like him too. So Shima kind of notices as well. So Mitsumi and Shima go out and ask Ujie if like he wants to like practice with the girls because, you know, he's not doing too well. And he kind of says some stuff that kind of offends Mitsumi. But then Shima actually like stands up for her. So that was nice to see. And he gets all flustered. Mitsumi is like, you know, thinking about how Shima reacts to things and his personality. And then she just kind of like blurts out, that's what I love about you, Shima-kun.
Huge bomb.
Huge.
But then sorry, go ahead.
This
is crazy.
This is crazy. So she
says that, she's like, that's what I love about you, but then you can kind of take that in a platonic way. So she was like, oh, I'm such a coward.
Right, and that's how it usually happens in shoujos, where it's like, what did you say? And then they both get flustered, and then they're like, in a friend kind of way or something like that.
You totally think that's what's gonna happen, like she's gonna try to brush it off.
And then Shima-kun's just like, what? And then he like stares at her, and then he's like, okay, do you want to like try going out?
He just says that, like,
dude,
from 0 to 100, and I thought that was crazy because usually with rom-coms, when there's that point when a character starts going out, there's like a huge declaration of love.
Yeah.
And we didn't necessarily see that, but I kind of like it in a way because isn't this more true to real life?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And if it didn't happen this way, I think Mitsumi's a planner, so if the story wanted her to end up confessing to Shima, it would have been like a lot of volumes of probably like planning and thinking about it. And she's kind of already like been thinking about it.
Yeah.
But it was interesting how it just like...
He just like jumped on the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like, I was not expecting that to happen in this volume, especially at the very end there.
No, I know. So, yeah, those both of our like favorite scenes from this volume. So on to volume 8 then.
We were so excited because we were like, okay, now there's gonna be like a first date. What's gonna happen? Like, she's gonna tell her friends maybe.
So it starts off with like them talking about...
He calls it, what is it, a trial?
A trial run.
And that doesn't feel great.
And he like kind of puts it off like, you know, I don't want to like ruin our friendship, so let's just try it out. But at that point, it's like, you're already trying it out, so wouldn't, even after a trial, if it didn't work out, that would still like make things weird. Plus, that's like not what you want to hear.
That's not what you want to hear. And then it's like, okay, so he asked, like, do you want to try going out? And then if someone asks, like, do you want to just do a trial? It's so hard for you to just be like, no, I actually want to go out for real.
Right.
Like, how do you even respond to that?
No, literally.
But then she does agree to it. But this kind of ends up causing a huge conflict because I think in the back of her mind, she's kind of thinking like, is Shima actually serious about this?
Yeah.
Because even here, he's questioning whether he like even did the right thing.
Yeah, he's like discussing it with his friend, so.
Mm-hmm. And then a conflict comes up. So like we mentioned in the last volume, he has this group of girls who kind of follow him around, his fans. And then they're talking in the gym and the group of girls come up to him and they kind of joke around. They're like, oh my gosh, you guys are always together. Are you going out? And then she goes, yeah, no, I didn't think so. Like kind of in a rude way.
I know.
And then Shima tries to kind of brush it off. But then this was surprising because Mitsumi, especially in the first volumes, she's kind of known as not picking up on like the subtle clues when someone is like subtly being mean to her, but she picks up on this like hard. Like
hardcore, yeah.
And she's like, why didn't you stand up for me? Like they were clearly being rude. See, it's tough though because I could see both sides.
I could see both sides. I still think Shima should have said something.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it though because his wordings of like a trial, like what do you like tell everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Or but even then he could have said something like, you know, that's like just a rude thing to say in general, even if you weren't dating.
Right. And he didn't have to like get mad or like
make
it into a huge deal, but he could have just been like, hey, let's not like said anything, you know. But I guess his line of thinking was that he knew these were mean girls, so like he was kind of just thinking if he did say something, then maybe the girls would kind of turn on Mitsumi and start bullying her. But I mean,
yeah,
she wanted him to say something for sure.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's a trial and then that conflict, Mitsumi's really thinking like, does Shima actually have feelings for me? Like, is he taking this seriously? Is what she's thinking. Because with Mitsumi, like she puts her heart into every single thing that she does.
Yeah. She literally wanted him to get angry.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like overthinking it too. It's like, was I in the wrong?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I guess Ujie runs for class president.
He tries.
He tries, but then ultimately Mitsumi becomes president and Ujie becomes vice president. He starts like doing his own thing, which messes with everyone else's stuff, like renaming files on the computer, stuff like that.
And we're kind of wondering with Mitsumi, why is he being so difficult? But then we learn he was like gifted all throughout his life. So his line of thinking was, hey, like I don't need any friends because all I need to focus on is getting good grades, getting into the top university, and then getting a great job. But then in high school, and I feel like this is pretty like relatable because you learn that intelligence alone isn't really gonna cut it in life and in the workforce too. You still have to work on your people skills. Like networking is a huge thing if you're trying to like move up in your company.
It's huge.
So he's trying to branch out because he's learned that you don't have to pick one trait. Like you can
No, I know.
You can still have friends. Like that's an important skill.
That's really important.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like someone like you would never understand. And then she kind of like breaks down too, because it's like, well, how would you even know that? Like I'm having like so many struggles here too. Like I have way too many things going on. Like, what do you know about me? Type of thing. And then she breaks down, and then he kind of gets her to. I think that's funny. They go on their first date.
Their first date.
Oh yeah. What could possibly go wrong?
Ooh, Shima backstory. So this is also what I've been waiting for because we've seen tidbits here and there about how he has a contentious relationship with his mom. Like he's obviously been through stuff, but this is when we see really in depth what he's dealing with.
And we see like his mom being different than what she was like at the school festival. We kind of like see what type of person she was before. Obviously she's gotten a lot better, but when Shima was like a kid, it was like way worse.
He felt really pressured. I'm sure at first he liked acting, but it seems like his mom was like really hard on him. Yeah,
and you kind of like see why he is the way he is with not like getting mad at people, trying to be like a people pleaser kind of. I actually like understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, because it's not only the issues with his mom, it's like his relationship with girls in general. Because when people ask him out, he'll start going out with them assuming that maybe he'll end up liking this person over time, but then time and time again he finds out that they just want to gloat to their friends about how good looking he is. It was never really about who he was as a person. They didn't really know him like that.
No. So then he stops. He like tells himself that he's gonna like stop dating for a while.
It's kind of like a parallel to Yuzu's backstory in a way. Like just because
I think they did talk about that. Yeah.
Oh, did they? Just because someone is attractive doesn't mean. I mean, it's kind of like it comes with its own set of problems.
Right. And he's not like an asshole or anything either.
No.
So, and this is your favorite panel, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah, it just like hit me like.
Yeah.
Because like you said, this is when you finally know like how deep those scars run for Shima.
Yeah, you know like how much they've like affected him.
And he's always smiling, but like you said, he's a people pleaser. So it's like, that's not really even what he's feeling on the inside.
Right, exactly.
So they have a little picnic date.
Ooh, picnic date. So they go on the date. They bring
and it's like
sandwiches.
nice.
It's really nice. You can even see after, I feel like this hits harder even after the backstory because Shima's just kind of like, you know, yeah, this is peace. Even after like all the contemplating he's been doing, I feel like you can like finally start seeing him like having confidence in his decision.
And he's finally able to relax and be himself.
Yeah.
I love that panel.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's your favorite one, right?
Around here, yeah. All this is like my favorite because he's like, this is peace. This isn't like supposed to be, isn't the world supposed to be more grotesque? He's having a great time. And then Mitsumi pulls out the, could we go back to being friends?
Gutted.
And you can like kind of see Shima's disappointment, I feel like.
And this was so unfortunate too, because I feel like this whole thing stemmed from a lack of communication, because Mitsumi doesn't know all the things that Shima has gone through and why he acts the way he does.
Yeah.
So they kind of just like created this conflict in their head almost. Like I don't mind when rom-coms decide to have characters break up or like things don't work out, because that could turn into like an interesting story. But it's just so unfortunate because it's like if they would have communicated, if Shima was able to like take that one step further and like communicate his true wants and what he's really feeling, then things could have been different. So it's just so unfortunate.
It's really
I was
unfortunate.
so sad.
I feel like maybe it will come back to this though. They'll like realize that's what they actually want, or maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea where the story's gonna go.
Can I flip to that one page panel? I'm really wondering where this is gonna go. I mean, I don't mind them just being platonic friends too, because I think the whole point of this series in general is like placing value on friendships and how that's actually a huge, like, important source of support in your life. So I just want to go back to this one panel. So she does break up with him, but then she says, I think it's okay if we don't like each other, because you could have been a boy or girl, a little kid or a wrinkly old man, and I'd still like you. And then it's bittersweet, but I think for Shima, that's kind of huge, because he's used to being treated as like this trophy guy, and like he felt like people only want to be around him because of his looks or his acting background.
And he's always felt like no matter what type of like love he's received, it's always been conditional. And coming from Mitsumi, it just sounded like an unconditional type of, even if it's just like a friendship type of love, it's like still feels more unconditional, I feel like.
Right. So I mean, yeah, I was gutted just because it was so unexpected, but I don't know, would you want to see them get together, or would you rather like see this develop as a platonic friendship?
I want to see them together.
Oh, you want like romantically?
Yeah.
Like to try it again?
Yeah.
But like for sure this time, like being serious about it? It's hard to say for me. I don't know. I was like totally on board last volume. But then after seeing like their individual struggles, I don't know anymore. I don't know if it's what's the best thing for them.
Right.
You know?
For sure.
But I guess that's interesting.
Yeah.
I never had that conflict.
I know.
Reading like a romantic story before. It's usually like, yes, I do want those characters to be together.
Right.
I'm sure Chieri, will see more of her. And we didn't really talk about her too much, but just quickly, you learn that she is also a type of character that gets wrapped up in people's relationships, but she's kind of doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
We don't see too much about her, but it seems like she has a pretty lonely home life, and that's really all we know about her so far. And then, another interesting thing is, due to this being a trial, they're dating, she never tells her friends that he actually confessed.
But they told her that they realized something was like going on like in her life, like she felt like off. So they kind of did like a group hug, which was nice.
I feel like I can understand why she didn't tell them, but they would have been a huge source of support for her if she would have. So it's like unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But it's just so awkward because it is a trial. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And Shima does get what I feel like is a little jealous.
Of Uji-ie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uji-ie kind of like, says good morning and stuff, and it's kind of like, what the hell? So I feel like he gets a little jealous.
All right. So there's really only 2 more volumes left.
That are out currently.
Because it's on hiatus now, so really excited to read those.
Yeah. Tell us what you think about what's going on. It's kind of crazy. Like, do you want to see them stay together or get back together? So.
We won't have Alice in Borderland for a few more weeks just because someone checked out the whole series at the library, which is good because that means, other people are reading manga and then they're gonna order other manga for people to read. But it'll be a few weeks because we'll have to put that on hold.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, comment your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next one.